I think that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
People care about jobs, they don't care about your glare in the background. Okay, I think we are live on LinkedIn and YouTube. Let's double check our connections. Hi, everyone. My name is Aditya Sharma. If you can let us know in the comments that you can hear us loud and clear. Sorry, my voice is not very loud, but if you can let us know in comments that you can see us, hear us, that would be very helpful. Hi, Daniel. How are you doing? Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, perfect. Hi, Amit sir.
Hi everyone.
Okay, I'm quickly checking it on LinkedIn.
Sorry. Yeah.
So we are live on LinkedIn. I can see. Okay. Okay, and people are joining in.
Hi Abhijit, how are you? So Abhijit says that he can hear us and sound loud and clear. Thank you for. So guys, if you can just repost this event before we start, we are going to share a lot of jobs today. Um so if you can share it with on your LinkedIn so that other people can also join in, that would be great. Hi Ravina, how are you? Hi Divya. Okay. So guys, if you can let us know from what location you are joining in. So Aditya, where are you from joining today?
I am currently based out of Miami, Florida.
And what about you, Daniel? From where you are joining in today?
I'm in San Francisco.
Oh, so I guess they are sitting. One is sitting at a very like a tourist location, and one is sitting in the main hub spot of
Well,
working.
I'm right in Union Square, so it's a pretty, a very much a touristy type of area. I will explain. You may hear a cable car and you may hear a fire engine. So I will, if something does go by, you might see me darting very quickly to another room,
Thanks
so you
for
don't hear
sharing.
the
Thanks
fire
for
engine.
letting know. So guys, I'm joining in from Toronto today, and okay, and guys
Oh, so
also.
people in Toronto and Canada are still speaking to Americans. That's great to see. Really great to see. I appreciate that very much. Thank you.
Thank you. I guess I guess all these things are like temporarily affects things. So most probably things will be better.
Now, also, can the participants that are on right now, can they share the event on their own LinkedIn network?
Yes, they can share. They can
Yeah,
repost.
please. Can you guys do that? We'd really appreciate it. I'll
Yeah.
explain why that's really important.
Okay. So I can see people joining in from St. Louis and people joining from Dallas, New
India?
Hampton, hemisphere. People joining from India, Bangalore. So guys, also if you can let us know, guys, in the comment section that what job role you are targeting. Are you targeting the role of data in the domain of data, or in the targeting the role in the domain of software? So if you can let us know in the comment section, that would be great. Okay.
Hey,
So really quick,
Sheila.
if you don't mind, we're 5 minutes into this right now, and even as people start to join, I really would like to kind of just get started and see about starting a conversation. We're talking about stuff in the chat and using the chat, so that's great. If you don't mind, I'm going to go ahead and get started.
Yeah, sure.
Participants and stuff, I want to explain a couple of different things. I have a bunch of jobs. I
Okay.
work for a talent firm. Okay, we are what some folks call an agency.
Mhm.
Okay, we have multiple clients, we have multiple opportunities, and I wanted to explain. I've been thinking about this event. And I wanted to make sure that some folks understand that there are agencies like myself that are out there, and then there's direct employers. And why it's important you understand that it is, agencies are just as important as working directly with the clients. With these clients, we have signed legal agreements, contracts in place. Yes, it's harder for the recruiters sometimes to make placements directly with the clients, but we're also the ones calling in We're the ones following up with these people, and often we have direct contact with the hiring managers. So we often know, even if we don't get feedback from the hiring manager, we will often be able to deduce what works and doesn't work with a particular hiring manager and a client. So, I've seen a lot of people that get ticked off or are very negative in regards to agencies, and I wanted to address that. I want to let you know that often we can be one of the best people, but often, if we don't have a job that matches your qualifications and stuff, there's nothing that we can do. You have to go on to the next. I also want to say that machine learning and artificial intelligence is imperative in this particular market. Okay. Clients, I want to share this very quickly. I put this together. I'm sorry, 1 second. So with our clients, this is kind of how they prioritize things. Let's see if I can put this into full screen. Fine. Here, for full-time permanent positions, okay? The experience, it's not only that the resume must reflect that you match the job description, okay? If we do not see a match, and again, we're all using AI and machine learning tools to match the resumes to the job description. So if you are just sending your resume out to job titles and all this other type of stuff, you are wasting your time. So for our full-time employment roles with our clients, they want experience and stuff that matches the job description. And then they prioritize often in this order, the academic background. They often, want top universities, whether your background is in computer science, engineering, and finance, whatever. And I also want you to understand that if it's a software engineering position, it's a data science position, and your degree is not in computer science or is not in a technical related field, let's say it's in civil engineering or I don't know, even, something else, they will definitely pick somebody with a computer science background over any other academic background. That's just automatically what they do. Second, longevity and employment history. And again, so folks know these are things that we use to market and sell candidates to hiring managers. We point these things out. So it's ideally they want somebody in the most recent role and they've been there for a while. If not, we want to be able to point within the last 2-3 years that you were in a role for at least 3 to 5+ years worth of experience. People do not want job hoppers. And if you have a resume that you've been working as a consultant, that also can be a big issue. Clients right now for full-time roles, if they see a resume that shows a significant background in consulting, they will they just automatically are turned off. Next in the priority list is whether you are currently employed by a FANG company. This is Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, Google. This, by the way, are not things that I made up. These are what the clients tell us. Next in the priority line, and again, it can be a combination of anything. So, so if you have a resume that reflects the skills and the responsibilities and the tasks that are in the job description, and you have an academic background, you're the cream of the crop. If you have longevity in your employment history, or if you're employed by one of their competitors, you often go to the top. If you were employed by a FANG company, but you were only there a short amount of time, they'll still often consider you to the top, especially if you have a great background from a top university. Otherwise, they'll look for people who are employed by a company in the same industry, but that's a little bit, you're about a 9, maybe an 8 out of 10. And career goals and ambitions match the client's future. Again, these are things like this would be nice with 1 or 2 of the other ones, okay? And especially with machine learning and artificial intelligence. If your resume does not match Java, Python, PMP certification, these things in the resume, you'll be lucky to get even to a recruiter. Now, I have positions that require security clearance. I bring these up because I cannot tell you how many resumes I get submitted to people, and it's even in the job title that the position requires security clearances, and yet I still get resumes for people who it's pretty apparent, they don't have security clearance. So I wanted to explain this to people. You'll often see them in the job description: secret, top secret, something like this, TSCI with a polygraph, something like that. If you do not have these things, don't submit your resume. You're wasting your time. The next thing I want to do is I also want to point out, a data scientist is not a machine learning engineer. Machine learning engineer is not a data scientist. Data analysts and data engineers are not data scientists. Interns are not senior software engineers. Senior software engineers are not software architects. Software engineers are not software engineer leads unless the resume reflects it. Network engineers are not system architects. Project managers are not directors. Project managers are not software engineers. Again, reason why is because the client will often ask us, if it says project manager on your resume and you submit your resume for a software engineer position, they want to know what percentage was hands-on coding and what percentage was project management. If it was 50-50, even any 80-20, when you're submitting your resume for a software engineer position, that's an individual contributor role. Again, you're wasting your time if you haven't been doing in the last 3 years 100% coding. Don't apply for positions that say security clearance. Read the job descriptions. ATSs, if you're throwing your resume at places, I've actually seen managers say to us that we have the resume from that person already in our database. They've submitted their resume for 10 different positions. They're spamming the resume. We're not going to proceed forward. Again, and also make sure, especially with machine learning and artificial intelligence, stop wasting your time. Use these tools so you're only really applying for the position that match. If the job description says 3 to 5 years worth of experience, don't submit your resume, for 10 plus years worth of experience. Don't submit your resume for a position that, is very much more senior than the level you have. Okay, now the one other thing in regards to jobs, I'm going to try to share this really quick too. So I'll give you an idea. Hope this is the right spreadsheet. Yeah. All right, so here are the jobs I'm currently working. Actually, we have more than this. These are just the ones I'm concentrating on. One other thing, I want to share my screen. Let me do this first. So these are the jobs that I have. What I wanted to share is my LinkedIn screen, but I'll have to show you that later. I received something like 83 invitations from people to connect on LinkedIn. I get on average daily about 2 to 3 of them. I can only presume that the 80 plus people are in this event or know about this event, saw, and they sent me an invitation on LinkedIn. I could have a whole entire event about using LinkedIn for looking for a job, especially now, again, using machine learning and artificial intelligence. On that priority list, I forgot to add, if there is someone working for that company and you know that person, that can definitely be something, in addition to your education and stuff, that will definitely get you to get to the top. Many times. And again, use machine learning and artificial intelligence tools so that you've set up something that is checking your LinkedIn network, even maybe second tier, someone who works for the company you applied for. So many times people miss out on that opportunity and it's a waste. So, let's work out a workflow that, when you're applying for jobs, somehow it validates and keep track of where your resume is going. All right, so these first group of jobs, these are all for a fintech company based in New York. They have some locations and stuff that's required in New Jersey, but it's pretty much the New York metro area. I have a machine learning position, program manager position, lead software engineer, generative AI. So these positions, if you do not have generative AI mentioned in your resume, again, we can't proceed. AI and machine learning tools, so many machine learning and artificial intelligence engineers send me resumes for that role and never mention generative AI in the resume at all. If there are by any chance any quant people in this conversation, there's a big difference between a quantitative analyst and a quantitative researcher. They're not the same job. Let's see, this position. It's not just a security role, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a really, really senior person, but they're looking for somebody with OWASP top 10 cryptography and security protocols experience. So it's basically application security for a platform. Let's see, this is in the wrong place. If anybody has gone through an entrepreneurial program for a major college university in the US, maybe IIT, has to be, what is the other big university, maybe in the UK, Australia, Canada, they will consider for this program. Let's see, data center engineer position. Again, this client always chooses people with longevity employment history, top school, and they've been, and their tenure, how long they've been in a particular position. These roles are based in San Jose, and they basically are doing circuitry, IC circuitry, manufacturing, stuff like that. For this position, if there is anybody out there that has worked as a software developer, QA evangelist, ideally has done some type of YouTube videos, something like that helped me sell and market this person who's a project manager, ideally has a degree in computer science, but really ideally that they have that content, or even if they really have a strong software developer, QA, experience, project management, and they've done videos for something else, they may consider that person. And these are just some of the security clearance type jobs that I have. I have many more. They are, requiring, and again, here's some examples when they list in the job description, active TS, SCI, plus full scope poly, which stands for polygraph. Don't waste your time. If you don't have these security clearances and stuff like that, don't submit your resume. Same thing, if there's a certification like PMP, CICS, something like that, and if the recruiter or the the person has put those things even in the job title and you don't have it, don't waste your time. It means that it's a priority and they require it. Okay, was that good enough? Did I do good? Amit?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm asking you because what is it? He doesn't want to seem to talk to me, so I get it.
No, he's not well.
I know that. Neither am I. But go ahead.
Okay. So I have two questions, Daniel. So Daniel, right now, let's say you shared a lot of positions in machine learning and in the software role also. So where the candidate should be focusing more? Is it more on the technical side, or is it more about like in the behavioral HR round? Where exactly your client focuses more that, okay, this is where the candidate should be really good so that they can be hired?
All right, so Amit, let me give you a pitch that I talk to most of the candidates that I work with.
Okay.
And my biggest suggestion for a lot of people is to take a introduction to marketing and sales, something like that, because your resume is your marketing material.
Yes.
Okay. An interview is just as much a sales meeting as it is anything else. If I were you interviewing you, Amit, even the way you present yourself, the way that you talk, all of that is, how you market yourself. That's why we were talking about things like longevity and employment history. I went to a top school. These are all things in bullet form that we use to market candidates to a hiring manager. We're marketing and submitting Amit as the solution to that business need. But it's also very important to also communicate that you're a match for that company. If you're just a match for the immediate position, they could just get a simple consultant or somebody to come in to just complete that small portion of that stuff and then go on, with the rest of their business. If they're hiring an employee, they want somebody who's going to stick around. And I often tell candidates, you need to use machine learning and artificial intelligence. Put all that stuff in there, your career goals and ambitions, the job description, or at least what you consider to be the ideal job description, your resume, your LinkedIn profile. And basically, how does all this stuff match up to this job? Does it, as a marketing and a sales point of view, do I match up? And the important thing, if you get an interview, you need to be able to communicate in 2-3 sentences a sales pitch. And that sales pitch has to say, why does Amit match the job description? And why does Amit match the company? Okay. Why? What are your career goals and ambitions? That talks about why you match the company. And how do you match the future of this organization, the company you're applying for, that you're interviewing with? And by the way, if you get an interview with a hiring manager, consider yourself extremely lucky. So it's an opportunity. You cannot take it lightly because they are definitely interviewing other people.
True.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So you've at least gotten an opportunity. You are not just spamming your resume all over the place and seeing what fits, what matches. Hopefully, because you have an interview, you at least know you match the job. You match something through their system, whether it's been AI, ML, and most likely at least been reviewed by a recruiter or a hiring manager, and somebody says, go. You're taking the time out of somebody's schedule to book this. And most likely the person's way too busy, especially if they're interviewing 10 to 40 people. So don't waste that person's time. Be prepared. You need to be a salesperson. You are selling yourself as the business solution. And you need to have a polished sales pitch. You need to reference it every time you can, not recite it. Just reiterate it, show it's strong, in the conversation during the interview. But you definitely want to close the interview, close that sales meeting with that pitch. And you'll know it's effective if those details are in the feedback forms we get when people do interviews. So my career goals and ambitions, I match the role because of this. I, match the company in the future. One other thing, look to AI and ML. What questions are highly likely going to be asked by this hiring manager for this company? So you put in the person's LinkedIn profile. If you can find out who you're going to be interviewing with in advance, because most often in the calendar invite, the interviewer's name is in there. So take that LinkedIn profile, take your LinkedIn profile, check, make sure you don't have any, are there any connections? Do we go to the same school? Do we go to the same conference? Is there anything published in the LinkedIn profile that is similar to mine? Are there connections with that person to my network? Is there anybody that can I name drop? What are the questions that person might ask me? And what are the questions I should ask them? So that I can demonstrate I did my due diligence, I investigated this organization, I'm sincerely interested in this job, and this is why. The number one feedback that we get back from interviews, the most often feedback, is that the candidate really never expressed any interest in the position or our company. I get that all the time. The person just went through the interview, answered questions, but basically gave no reason why they were interested or what in the job or why they were interested in interviewing for the company. They may say, "Oh, I'm really interested in the job. I really think I'm a great match for the role." Why? Tell me why. And remember, you only had 30 minutes for the interview.
Yeah,
okay?
and I think
that's why you have to have that polished, and it has to be made for each company. It has to be targeted and direct. Trust me, salespeople do this when they're selling a solution, an IT solution, an ERP implementation could cost hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. They may have a sales meeting. The first sales meeting may only be an hour. But they have a polished routine. They know what to say. They're going to know what the bullet points are, the trigger points, not only for that person, but their industry. So that's why you need to be paired. And that's, like I said before, if you get an interview with a hiring manager, even with the recruiter who might be the gatekeeper, you need to be prepared. You need to be able to differentiate yourself from the other hundreds of other resumes we're getting, and maybe even the difference of the other 10 to 20 people that are in the interviewing process. You have to take it seriously. If you get the opportunity to even talk to a person, be prepared. Be prepared and look at it. Like I said, this is a sales meeting. I got to knock out all the other competition to get that contract, to get that deal. And the thing is, take the attitude that this is going to be a long-time client. This is supposed to bring residual income. And I, as a salesperson, I look at it that, it's not just simply just a job. It's a long-term relationship. And that's what I'm selling when I go to an interview. So I know that was a complete off tangent, admit, but I hope we got to the point of what your question.
I got it.
I hope some people find it valuable. I want to let folks know that that's what I do for Cardinal Talent. I have to differentiate myself because machine learning and artificial intelligence is taking over my job.
But Daniel, nobody can replace you. Like, I've been in touch with you for quite some time, and I can say you're like one of the most technical, like, who wants to be technically updated. That's so good. That's so good.
Yes.
Very
eager
I'm
to learn.
not dead yet. I love the machine learning and artificial intelligence stuff. The stuff you've been showing me is just, I watched 2 more of the videos last night. I'm just, I love N8N. I'm like, following them, and I just got, they're doing a hackathon here in San Francisco, by the way.
Thanks for sharing that. Yeah, I think that is really wonderful.
I'm going to go there not only looking to learn, but I'm a recruiter. If I meet some people.
Absolutely. And I think, and Danny, your point was really good. Like, even when I had to hire candidates for High Counselor, and I came across a candidate that is knowledgeable, but never showed like a significant interest in joining my company. I mean, it was always like, okay, do I really need that person? Like there was always an element of doubt. And whenever I say like if there is an element of doubt, like don't go ahead. So that passion is extremely, extremely important, guys.
Yeah, and thank you for showing sharing your own personal. So it shares that, this is the feedback we get from managers. And the thing is this, the important thing too, don't forget, if you don't, somebody else I just talked to, I coach these people. I coach the candidates I work with. If I know you're going to have an interview, I've told you this already. I've gotten you prepared to go to that meeting. I think that's one of the reasons why our managers and stuff work with us, because that 30 minutes of their time has been used very well. They got a great, the candidate was educated, they were intelligent, they communicated well, and they impressed them. They did a better job than other people they've talked to already. They did it. Because again, if you don't, someone else in the recruiting pipeline will. And that's the person they're going to choose.
Yep.
And one more thing, I hate to disappoint some of the viewers, the listeners and stuff, but, I've seen with managers and stuff, when we get down the line, they have their choice of 3 to 5 people that they can make the offer to. This is after the interviewing process has taken 2 months. And they have, literally it's one of the 5. So they're even getting deeper into the things besides what we've talked about already. It'll get into personality stuff and personality tests. They'll get into, weird, how quickly did somebody respond back to an email note? It could literally be something like that. What was the level of real interest that the person, demonstrate? Because, there's a lot of people interviewing, a lot of people available. And again, if you're not doing some of the things that I talked about that I've mentioned so far, you're really wasting your time.
Yep. And on this, Daniel, I have a question that what is the usual hiring timeline for a particular position when somebody applies or reaches out to you? By the way, I'm going to share all these positions with all the attendees. So, guys, I've also shared a Discord community link. Please make sure to join the community because we keep posting like the open positions that come from the recruiters in our network. So please join the Discord community. I'll share all these positions on your email as well as in the Discord community. So you can come and apply. And also, if any position come in from Daniel in the next few weeks, we're going to update it in our Discord community. Okay. Sorry, Daniel. So let's talk about the timeline of the interview
Really
process.
quick, don't forget to put up the cardinaltalent.ai URL too, please. Everybody can register on our site as well or apply. Some of the URLs I listed are on, all of them are on our site. Go ahead. I apologize. Where were you?
Oh, so I was just asking question regarding the hiring timeline. Right, somebody applies to a job position. What is the timeline looks like at this point?
And this is again a funny question. I can only answer. My answer, first thing that popped in my mind is as a recruiter, and we work for a staffing firm. So again, we have a contract. We don't get paid until you guys start. So we always want the interviewing process and stuff like that to happen as soon as as soon as possible and get it done quickly. But we are seeing major projects like so that fintech in New York. They take months, okay? Because again, they're a Wall Street financial institution, okay? They don't make decisions lightly. So even for stellar 5-star candidates, the interviewing process, again, takes 2 months. And that's not because that's not because it's a long and they have many interviews and stuff. It's because they'll do an interview. They'll give us feedback 2 to 3 days later. Then they'll say, okay, so 2 days or 3 days have gone by. What's the candidate's available to interview the next week? And then the time we get the feedback from the candidate, we get it scheduled. It's been really 10 days, maybe even another 2 weeks till that happens. And then we wait for feedback. So it's like it's drawn out. over time. And again, especially with startups, because a lot of times they're making major decisions with what money they have from the funding. And, you know, they will often, especially if there's more than one candidate that they're considering, they'll just wait until they receive a sign, I guess, or something to make the decision. But we are definitely seeing that the hiring period, the timeline has actually been very drawn out, very lengthy. Unless it's something that, it's like an emergency or there's some urgent security thing or something that needs to be resolved or new project that they're just doing and they want to hire. But again, with machine learning and artificial intelligence, everything's got to align. All the stars and things like that have to align to get to the top of the ATSs, to get to the top of those things, and to get more than a canned response, to actually get an interview or to get a reply from a recruiter.
Mm-hmm. Okay, no, that's very helpful. That's super helpful.
It's sad, but I'm being honest.
Now, I think people should know the reality. And we have been seeing like a very similar trend, although in some of the cases, especially with like small startups with like up to 50 people, we have seen a little bit faster hiring trend where they have an immediate requirement. They want to do an hiring done and dusted probably in 1 to 2 weeks, but definitely with bigger companies and bigger clients, they have their own process and they want to follow that. So that's totally understood. Okay, so Daniel, we are going to share these positions with candidates. We're going to promote it in a Discord channel, in a weekly newsletter as well. And hopefully, you'll see some relevant candidates coming into your radar. Guys, feel free to add questions in the chat box that you have for Daniel. We'll be happy to take those questions. In the meantime, Amit sir, why don't we give a quick overview of High Council? We usually give that overview at the beginning. But I think just a quick overview of what we do at High Counselor, how we help candidates land a job. So I'll share my screen and Amit sir, if you can give a quick overview, as my throat, guys, is not doing great.
I'll do the needful. Okay.
I'm not sure if it's any COVID variant. Some people are saying that it's some kind of COVID variant where you lose your voice for a few days, or maybe it's just a normal throat infection. Okay, here you go.
Okay, guys. So I'll give you a very quick overview of what High Counselor is all about and what is our program is all about. So we started our journey back in April 2020 with just 3 candidates, but we have worked very rigorously with all our candidates, and today we have successfully placed more than 600 plus candidates. In 2022, we also raised around $2.1 million from all the very good investors in Silicon Valley. So what are the 3 key challenges which we have observed? And I guess Daniel also pointed few of them. The number one was that there is lack of proper guidance and mentorship, and that's where the role of any consultant or any company comes in, which helps you guide through the process. Apart from this, they are not very much prepared about the HR behavioral or technical rounds. Sometimes the candidates are not also aware about what kind of different rounds they're going to face. And even if when they get the interviews, they're not able to crack it because they're not well prepared. A lot of times. So how High Counselor help candidates? We can move to the next one. So we have a very 360-degree kind of ecosystem which we have made for our candidates. So we start from our very basic things like optimizing your resume and working on your LinkedIn profile. Apart from this, we also provide a lot of resources to our candidate in terms of mock interview support, one-on-one interview prep questions, which we have got from all our 600 candidates who have been placed. Right. But the key comes where we help candidates saving a lot of their time is by through our auto application tool. So we search for jobs, we apply for jobs, and that saves a lot of your time. We also reach out to recruiters through our email networking tool. So that also saves a lot of time and gives you a lot of more presence as compared to how you are doing it. We have a network of around 200 employers with us right now, and we also work with them very closely. And we also work with recruiters, right? So that is the reason why it is easier for us to help you reaching out to the recruiter or to the employer. We help you. Aditya personally has a very good following on LinkedIn of around 150K almost. I have a good following on YouTube, around 100K, and we try to make sure that we help you in making your personal brand on LinkedIn as well. So we try to offer all these services. So just to make you very clear that we are not a staffing agency or a consultancy, we are a career accelerator which helps you saving your time and make sure that you get more and more interviews on your calendar. We currently work with three level of candidates. Primarily, we specialize in two categories, and one with software engineering, another is the data related role. So, if any you're looking for front end, back end, full stack, or if you're looking for any role in data scientist, data analyst, data engineer, we'll be happy to help you. Right. And we have now AI programs also integrated in our programs that will help you to boost your profile. As far as pricing is concerned, so the total price we charge after you land into a job, and that is like $15,000, in which the upfront pay is $2,500. But now we have make sure that you can just start with $100 per month, like $97 per month, right? So because this is one of the complaints which most of the people used to make us, that hey, we want your services, but like the pricing is little more on the higher side. We are jobless right now. We are not able to pay that amount. So I guess now we have a flexible option where you can just pay like $97 per month and you can avail all our services, which I've just talked about. So that's it. And first week is trial. And these are all our testimonials. You can go to our page also on our website uh, to listen to all these good people who have talked about our program and our services, how we have helped them in their landing into a job. So how to apply? Very simple process. Go to highcounselor.com, apply on the upcoming cohort option, complete the questions, the basic questions like your name, your LinkedIn profile, what role you're targeting, what is your visa status and all. Once we'll go through your profile, we'll evaluate it, we'll send you an interview request. If we find you fit, then we'll definitely give you an admission decision. Obviously, we'll not be able to entertain all of them, because not everybody, as Daniel also told you, that not everybody is exactly fit for the role for which we are helping candidates. So but definitely few of them is going to be part of it, and we'll send our decision to them. So that's it, and we'll be meeting you personally also to understand what is your requirement and how we can help you out. Anything which I missed, Aditya?
Can I just add something?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Remember, in this circumstance, to admit that we may not have the ideal situation, the perfect position. Tomorrow is a different day.
Yes.
Tomorrow, who knows? The doorbell may ring.
True.
And you may be my new best friend. You know, I have had odder things happen. You know, so we have positions that go on hold for 2 weeks, and then all of a sudden open again, and the manager's like, oh, you know, give me resumes, you know, and hopefully that pipeline that we had two weeks ago can be refreshed, and those people are still available. So these things do happen. But like I said, it may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but when the time comes, you'll be really happy you have that connection.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else, Aditya, where I missed anything? If I missed anything?
I think he's completely lost his voice. Either on mute.
He's on mute, I guess.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, there's some issue with my laptop and my throat. Okay, so guys, just one thing, as Dr. Amit said, that we may not be able to accept everyone. I keep getting a lot of LinkedIn requests that hey, we applied to iCounselor, did not get accepted. So you please understand that there is a huge investment that goes into a candidate when we accept a candidate into our program, and 80% of the payment that you pay is after landing a job. So it is super important for us who we are accepting into our program, because we work with a very limited recruiters. Every time if I'm pushing a resume to a recruiter or a hiring manager or to different working professionals in the network of our company, we have to make sure that they are absolutely great and they don't need to recheck the candidates technical skills or other skills, right? So we do connect with you one on one on a call, and most of the time Amit will be connecting with you, and there if we find you a right fit, then only we'll be accepting you. Okay, our next cohort starts from coming Monday, so you can apply by today or by tomorrow. We'll be conducting a quick interview and we'll let you know a decision by Monday morning. Okay, cool. Anything else, Amit sir, you want to cover, or can we free Daniel? There are a lot of questions in the chat box. We can cover some of them really quick.
I guess one of the question which is coming from Karthik, he says, "Hi Daniel, I have a quick question. That what is the experience required for entry job? Like this is one of the questions I guess which is coming from a lot of people. That how many jobs do you see right now, Daniel, for the entry level candidates?" Yeah.
Daniel, we can't hear you in case you're speaking.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Hate when I do that.
Yeah.
All right. So, admit the answer to your question, sadly, is I don't.
Okay.
I don't see intern positions. Remember, we're an agency.
Got it.
Okay. People are not going to pay me a fee for an internship position.
Oh no, not for
No,
an
no, no, no.
internship, Daniel.
Entry level positions.
Even
Like-
entry level positions.
Even entry level positions.
Even entry. It's going to be
Okay.
very, very rare. And often, you know, I forgot to mention, there are some positions on that spreadsheet that I shared with you guys, positions that we have, things like site reliability engineer position, data engineer, reliability engineer position, data analyst. You know, I don't even advertise these positions anymore because we get so many, let's just call it what we call them, spammed resumes. We
Okay.
get so many, it's just a waste of our time. We don't even bother advertising those jobs. We can actually go out and source valid candidates on LinkedIn and get then we know, because again, we have scouts and search engines that we have, search scouts that we have created that says, I want this number of years, this degree, this certification, and that's what we get. So we can do that ourselves. So many software engineer positions, entry-level positions, stuff like that. Seriously, most recruiters that I know, maybe a job that's 5+ years. You might see a few out there that say 3 to 5 years. But most of the positions that are 1+ year, we don't advertise them.
Got it.
We will usually try to get those through referrals, or we'll go out and source by degree. You know, and again, in those circumstances, you better be working at a place for a while. Okay. Or if you've had multiple internships, it better be in the same industry. And again, how are you marketing it? How are you promoting it? Okay. You want, you know, again, someone that's been hopping around, somebody who did just 3 jobs, you know, or 3 internships, 3 months out of the school year and stuff like that, a dime a dozen. You know, we could get those at a job fair and fill that role the next day. So again, it's how you're marketing yourself, you know, what additional achievements, you know, what's on your GitHub account, what's out there that, you know, I should be aware of that's going to differentiate you from the hundreds of resumes. And you know what's funny? Just like what I was telling you earlier, guys, you know, why we don't even advertise maybe sometimes the 3 to 5 years worth of experience resumes, because we get those resumes coming in for jobs that are senior level roles. Let's say they're supposed to be 5+ years worth of experience. So we probably have, you know, if I get a job that's 1 to a couple of years, I can actually go to our own database and find resumes that fit that. But again, we will also put that on our ranking system. The fact that somebody submitted their resume for a job they did not qualify for. So it's almost kind of a demerit in a way. But, you know, I don't sometimes have to mention that to the manager, especially if the resume looks really good and the person really had shown a lot of interest in working for the company. You know, if there's a custom cover letter, or the objective of the resume is literally targeted to exactly what we do, our industry, something like that, then that would be something would stand out above the others that we get. But that's what we really do when we're scanning through those resumes. One last thing I forgot to mention: hiring managers, this has been a statistic I think that's been in my industry for many, many millions of years. A hiring manager on average starts to look at a resume and makes some kind of a decision within 10 seconds. Often the decision is negative, especially if they've got a lot of resumes to get through. So the real first thing, their thing is, we're going to look at this resume, and if something stands out, that's great. Then I'm going to actually, if we can get them to look at the resume longer than 10 seconds, I think you can increase your chances of getting an interview by like 80%. So the longer they're looking at the resume, and don't forget, this is a very, very busy person. So that's the reason why they're scanning through resumes. And a lot of times, I'll put all kinds of things in my write-up and other details. But really what they're going to do is they're going to look for how much, what kind of salary they're looking for, how quickly can they start, and maybe some other things that stands out in the write-up, like how long they've been in their last role or their degree. But really often the first thing is to jump to the resume and look at the resume. And then if they're interested, they'll go to the LinkedIn profile, they'll go back, read my write-up, look again at how much money they want, and then they'll decide, give me an interview. And that whole entire process probably took about 3 minutes, 5 minutes total. 3 minutes total. That's looking at my write-up briefly, looking at the resume, looking at the LinkedIn profile, going back over to my write-up, and responding to my email saying there's an interview. Really, that process is maybe tops 5 minutes.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Daniel, for your time. I think we are reaching the top of the hour, and I think the information that you have provided is absolutely top notch, helpful for everyone sitting over here. And guys, I can see some of the roles that Daniel, I would love to share some of the profiles that we have vetted internally. I'd love to forward those very experienced as well as some of the mid-tier candidates to your way. And everyone, I'll post these job positions in the Discord community. I'll share Daniel's company's profile and all the links with you in Discord community, as well as I'll email you. So make sure to join the Discord community. I'm again sharing the link of Discord community in chat so that if you have not joined, please join it ASAP. And Daniel, as we look forward to working with you, thank you so much again for your time.
Thank you.
Please write some comments about this group and what these guys are doing. I think this is great. And I really hope some folks got some real value and hopefully some guidance out of this.
No, absolutely.
Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you so much, Daniel. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Daniel.
Okay, so guys, I'm adding. Sorry, my voice is really, really bad today, but let me add
this group.
Let me add the link of our Discord channel over here for everyone. Guys, please make sure to join the Discord channel group so that we can uh, share all the job position. And again, we work with recruiters and working professionals left and right every other day. So we'll be regularly posting jobs over there. Also, we post content related to how you can upskill yourself in building AI agents. And AI agents, guys, if no matter whether you are in a software engineering role or a data science role, you must know how to learn and build AI agent. That is the future that will make you separate from everyone else. Okay. And as we said earlier, if you're interested in joining High Counselor, need some assistance with the job search program, You can apply on our website, highcounselor.com, and we will review your profile and schedule a call with you by tomorrow. We're starting a cohort early next week. So make sure that you apply by today, end of the day, so that we get a time to schedule a call and make a decision whether we can onboard you or not. Okay. Anything else, Amit sir, you want to cover before we wrap up the call? I know you have meetings lined up from 12 o'clock.
Yeah, just two things. Number one, which I wanted to highlight is the pricing thing, which we have changed. I
Yes,
guess
that's right.
that is a very big update, guys. So a lot of people they used to. I have met so many of them who used to meet me, and then because as most like we all know that if you don't have a job, it is very difficult to pay an upfront amount. So now that has come down to less than $100. So you can avail all those services from us, and if you are interested, you can let us know, or you can apply for our next cohort. And the next thing which will be update that we are also sending our technical assessments. So you for all our companies for which we are hiring or where the employer has sent us the positions, so you might get a technical assessment from our side also. So
Yes.
feel free to complete the assessment, so can we can send it to, and these assessments are completely free, guys. We are not charging anything for that. So you just need to complete the assessment so that we can share your profile with the employer, and if they're interested they can hire you.
Absolutely. And guys, it's one more thing. It is super important to be ethical in your technical assessments. We have come across candidates who tries to switch windows and everything, and our and our system catches all that thing, right? And then and once you take the assessment on our platform, you won't be able to take it for another 6 months. Okay, so take it with by following all the rules, and if you score well, we'll be certainly pushing your profile to the recruiters and other professionals in our network. Okay. Some Suvin says Discord is not working. Discord was working. I mean, I did check it recently. Let me try it again and share it with everyone. Is Discord link working for everyone else? Can you guys let me know in the chat box if it is working or not so that I can uh, double check it?
Aditya, I'll take a leave because I have a meeting
Yeah,
lined up.
yeah, you have meeting. Yeah, yeah.
I'll,
Please, please,
I'll
please.
thank
Okay.
you guys. Thank you so much for your time, and I'll be seeing you again. Take care.
Okay, so here, guys, I've shared the Discord link again, and we'll send the technical assessment as well. But one more important thing, if we have already sent you for a technical assessment, then we won't be sending it to you again. Uh, okay. And I've shared the Discord link. I think it is working. Please make sure to join Discord. We'll be sharing amazing information in Discord channel every other day. So make sure to check it and let's stay in touch, guys. I look forward to working with some of you, if not all of you. And yeah, let's take it from there. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful weekend as we are already on Thursday. And sorry for my broken voice. I hope my throat gets better soon. See you. Thank you so much. Okay, we'll come up with the next hiring event soon. Bye.